complicated, but it's not so difficult. Now that you understand what it means for a function to be continuous, we can look at our first major continuity theorem, the intermediate value theorem. Now before we get into explaining what it means, let's take a look at exactly what it says. If f of x is a continuous function on the closed interval ab, then for every d we pick between f of a and f of b, there exists a c between a and b, such that f of c equals d. Whew, that's a little complicated, but it's not so difficult if you take a look at what it means visually. We'll begin with a function f, which is continuous on the interval ab. In other words, the left endpoint is a and the right endpoint is b. Therefore, this height must be f of a, and this height must be f of b. Now let's pick some height in between those two, any one at all. I'll pick this one, and we'll call this height d. Now the only thing the intermediate value theorem is saying is that this value, or height, d, is going to cross our function at least once. Not only will it cross the function, it'll cross the function between the x values of a and b. As you can see, it crosses the function right here, and we call that x value c. See how this ties in with the theorem? If we pick a d between f of a and f of b, then it relates to a c between a and b. That's it. That's all there is to the intermediate value theorem. If you don't quite understand it, well, let's take a look at a real-life example, and it'll become even clearer. As promised, here's a real-life example of the intermediate value theorem. On a website called thespark.com, they held a contest called the Fat Project. You've probably seen posters and billboards that say, lose 30 pounds in 30 days. Well, the Fat Project was an exercise to see if someone could gain 30 pounds in 30 days if they really tried hard. Here's one of the participants in that project. Her name's Nicole. On October 1st, she weighed 121.5 pounds, and her goal by October 31st was to reach 151.5 pounds. Here's her weight gain graph over that time period. I think you'd have to agree, it's pretty impressive. So let's take a look at the intermediate value theorem with this graph. As you can tell, on October 2nd, she'd already gained 6 pounds. That's only one day into the contest. Huzzah for Nicole. However, on October 28th, she had gained 22 pounds. Well, according to the intermediate value theorem, I should be able to pick any value between 6 and 22 pounds. We'll say 14 pounds. And I know that Nicole must have gained 14 pounds at some point on the graph between the 2nd and the 28th. Now think about it again. It makes perfect logical sense. If your weight on day 2 is 6 pounds heavier than you started, and on day 28 is 22 pounds heavier than you started, then at some point in between there, you had to have weighed 14 pounds more than when you started.